The reasons why most educated people are actually poor. They don't have much money and they don't have much achievement in life. Yes, just the way I am speaking, some people will feel irritated, some people will feel like this guy is just attacking us. Yes, perhaps if you feel I'm attacking you, just try to think about what I'm saying. Why are you educated but you are poor? What is the essence of your education? Most of the educated people in our community actually have little to nothing, because I vow to make sure that I appear to always tell you what you need to know, especially when it comes to creating value, making yourself worth something in the society. Look at your family, at so many people that are well, especially those ones that have plenty of degrees. It happens that most of them usually live average life, or even never get much in life. They'll never get much out of life. So these questions, well, some of the questions that keep popping up in my mind each time, especially while I was in school. I look at my lecturers, I look at those that have PhD, I look at those that are professors, and most of them are just struggling with life. This is a reality. You're watching me and you happen to be in that field, you happen to be a professor, you happen to be a PhD holder, or perhaps a student or master's degree holder. I am not against you, and I'm not here to fight you, rather, but I am here to try to help you figure out some of the reasons why you are so educated but you have little to nothing. People will connect this to destiny. Well, that's their destiny, but why is it that most of such kind of people, their destiny is usually they have little or nothing? In your head like this, any education that is in my head that is not useful, God remove it as a waste. It's like a poison. You need to uproot it and install the one that is working, so that your brain will be correct, so that you can provide value. I'm excited to be here. Today is day 4. Today is day 4 of our live video challenge. I'm here again. In case I'm irritating you, please just try to understand my method of teaching, and perhaps as time goes on, you are going to be benefiting from all my lessons. Today we're going to be talking about the reasons why most educated people are actually poor. They don't have much money and they don't have much achievement in life. Yes, just the way I am speaking, some people will feel irritated, some people will feel like this guy is just attacking us. Yes, perhaps if you feel I'm attacking you, just try to think about what I'm saying. Why are you educated but you are poor? What is the essence of your education? Right? So, because I've taken my time to observe, most of the educated people in our community actually have little to nothing. And it happens that, by the way, before we continue, today is day 4 of our challenge, and we don't have lights here, just like you can see, but because I vow to make sure that I appear to always tell you what you need to know, especially when it comes to creating value, making yourself worth something in the society. And we don't have light in my location, so I have to manage to find a source of light so you could see me. So please try to manage, and let's just proceed. So like I said earlier, most educated people are poor. I don't know if you take your time to observe, look at your family, look at your surrounding, look at your friends. Look at so many people that are well, especially those ones that have plenty of degrees. It happens that most of them usually live average life, or even less than average, in the sense that they never get much in life. They'll never get much out of life. So these questions, well, some of the questions that keep popping up in my mind each time, especially while I was in school. I look at my lecturers, I look at those that have PhD, I look at those that are professors and all that. I found out that most of them are just struggling with life. This is a reality. I'm not making anything up. But if you are very sincere with yourself, by the way, if you are watching me and you happen to be in that field, you happen to be a professor, you happen to be a PhD holder, or perhaps a student or master's degree holder, I am not against you, and I'm not here to fight you, rather, but I am here to try to help you figure out some of the reasons why you are so educated but you have little to nothing. Some people will connect this to destiny. Well, that's their destiny, but why is it that most of such kind of people, their destiny is usually they have little or nothing? And why is it that we have several examples of people that do not really go through, that form of education, the classroom education, sit down in the classroom, have your primary, secondary, university, and in the university you have first degree, second degree, perhaps third, and as the case may be. But most of those people happens not to meet up financially when it comes to or when it comes to building wealth. Now, I found out that there's a problem with the system of education that they have, and some of those problems is the reason why they are poor, not because they are not educated, and not because they don't have knowledge. They are very smart people, and I respect them a lot for that, because I've been in the system. By the way, if you are seeing me for the first time or meeting me for the first time, I was once a lecturer for some years, say about 2-3 years, before quitting the profession. So some of these things I'm telling you are just practical experience on what I have observed. Well, today's session might be a bit harsh and might sound somehow unreasonable to you, but I will just beg you to try as much as possible to calm down, just calm down, because I have so much to share with you. And basically my point is to try to let you know the reason why you are so educated but then you have little to nothing in life. So let's start by looking at the way the education system, the way it's run. When you start, most of us, we started our primary school, secondary school without knowing much of what we want in life, right? We don't know much about what by the way, the NEPA is back. Thank you so much, Nigerian NEPA, for saving me. So we can continue, and I believe the place is more clear now. So you go through this education. In most cases, what I found out is that number one challenge of what I find out is that for most people that intend to start the education, especially at the level of university, they tend not to know much about why they are going through that education, the type of course they want to study in the university. It happens that they know little to nothing about what that course is capable of doing for them, right? And when they are going through the education, it also another thing that it happens that they don't really know much about what they are learning and what to use it to do when they come to the society. There is a wide gap and a disconnection between the type of knowledge that is impacted to them and what they need to survive in the society. This is true, except you might not want to agree with me. By the way, I thank those who just joined us. I have Abdul Kadir Ilyasu. Wow, thank you for joining. I have Sani Nupe. All these people are watching live. Thank you for joining. We have a lot for you today. Yes, sit back. We have a lot for you today. And in case you come late or you come to join us later, I like you to listen to this conversation with an open mind, right? Because for so many people that I have tried to give or sell this idea to in the past, all they do is to attack, all they do is to stand on the defense and try to give several reasons to be able to suppress what I'm trying to tell them. I've gone through this education and I've benefited from it, and I'm not against it, yes, but I'm against a lot of some of the ways this education has been passed down onto you, especially because after you have the education, you really cannot do anything for your life. This is my major concern, because why should it be that somebody have spent 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, or even more as the case may be, but at the end of it cannot be able to do anything for himself or herself. This is my worry, and that's why I found this kind of education very faulty. Okay, like I said earlier, the people that went through it, they don't even know why. They don't know why they choose the course they have chosen. I have experience of somebody visiting us, and she has written a JAMB, and my brother tried to query, like, okay, you have written a JAMB, what course did you apply? It will shock you that she could not remember the course she applied for. That's one. Then let me even assume that you remember the course you applied for. Why did you apply for that course that you want to study? Why? You don't know. Now it appears to me that if you don't know your destination, meaning that you don't know what you are going for, now there is every probability that you will end up where you don't want. And that's the reality. And these are some of the faults I see in the system, right? Like I said earlier, I went through the system, apart from the fact that I went through the same education, but I also happens to be in charge, like I taught university students. So when I talk to you, I talk from my little experience. My experience might not be so elaborate. I know that I'm trying to explain my perspective. I'm trying to explain my opinion from what I have seen and experienced. And also I look at the general society and try to see what is happening there and perhaps what we can do differently. And these are some of my arguments. I see no reason why you should spend 4 years or 5 years in the university only for you to come out to look for a job. Something is definitely wrong. Yes, something is wrong with that system. You shouldn't be looking for a job. If you are a university student listening to me right now, and you don't know why you are studying what you are studying, it's a big problem. And so many of us are out here facing that problem right now, and you should think about correcting it. As a matter of fact, if you have not gone through the education, then you might need to have a rethink, maybe after watching to the end of this video. We might not be able to say all that you need to learn to be well equipped, but I've created this doubt in your mind that look, you need to be able to have a second eye when it comes to acquiring especially degrees. Like the title of our presentation today, why most educated people are poor. And you cannot argue this. Most of the people I know that are well educated, especially those ones with master's degree, PhD, and profs, many of them, they are very poor. You might think that they have money. The first day I received my salary as assistant lecturer, the first time I joined, I was like, is this form of like giving me something just to cool down myself first? Oh, they said that's your salary already. What? My salary? I will not be telling you that, but I know, and those who are in the field know what is happening. It's not worth it. Do you know how long I spent in university? 5 years for first degree, second degree for 3 years. That's 8 years of my life. That's 8 years of my life. And it happens that for me to raise to the level of lecturing, it means like I'm at the peak. Like I'm at the peak of my profession. Like I'm trying to go towards that. By the way, some of you will say it's because you are assistant lecturer, that's why your salary is small. Now ask the professors how much they are being paid. Do you know their salary? I just want to leave some things with question marks so that it will push you to go and make research. Go and know what is the salary of a prof. He has dedicated probably all his lifetime to learning, to achieving this knowledge, to impacting it to others. Is definitely should be worth more than that. I don't know if you understand. I've seen several lecturers in the university system, several profs, many of them cannot even afford a car. It's quite unfortunate that we have to be blunt today. Like today, I'm really ready and I want to give you back to back. You need to listen, you need to think. If you have gotten that education already, you need to rethink. I will tell you a lot of things now. Just sit back, you are going to hear a lot from me. I am telling you that something is wrong with that type of education that you have so much depend on. And it's quite unfortunate that our parents, many of them mean so well for us. They love us and they want us to be educated. In the past, once you are coming out from that education, so many things await you. The story is different today. There's a lot of reasons why. One of it is that education system can no longer meet with the current society problems. It can no longer solve the current society problem. By the way, let me still tell you the reason why you should go to school. Number one is to be able to have value. To be able to have value to yourself. To be able to help yourself through the value you create. Because it's when you have value that you can give. You can't give what you don't have. You can't give, can I say that again? You can't give what you don't have. And as soon as you come out from school, what is assumed is that you should have value. You should be able to solve problems. Some time ago, I was talking to some group of lecturers, and as a parent was there, the parent was like, his child, a daughter that is in 300 level, kept calling him to disturb him about a rat that is disturbing them in the hostel. It might seem like it's a normal problem that people should somebody said bring, okay, Mukhtar is watching, bring your camera down, thank you. Okay, let me try to do that. Thank you for the observation. I want to believe that people are now following, because when we started, some people just come and watch after the presentation, but it's good. Yeah, we are improving. 1,000, today is day 4. I hope this is okay. Bring them on camera. Okay, what? I don't understand, but anyway, thank you. And I think this is better. So let's continue. Now, what I'm saying in essence is that the daughter was so worried. If you are educated, common rat, you should be able to know how to solve problem of rat disturbing you in the room. You don't need to disturb your father. That goes to tell you the level of education that they are having, the level of training that they are receiving, the level of problem solving abilities that they have. You are disturbing your father about a rat worrying you in the school. Then what if you finish that school and you're already in 300 level? Then if you are done with the school, what do you want to do now? What problem can you solve? Sometimes when I speak about this topic, some people feel like you are just money conscious. You feel every educated person should be wealthy. Don't get me wrong. If you think like this, you are getting me wrong. If you are not wealthy, at least be able to solve problem. Right? If you are not wealthy, at least be able to provide value. I don't know if you understand. Now, let me ask you. Maybe you are a graduate. You have studied a particular course. I like to make example of simple agriculture. I have seen graduates, by the way, with due respect to those who study agriculture. I'm not against you. I've seen a lot of people that have gone through this education, but they are unable to even know what farming is all about in practical life. They have certificate, first degree in agri, whatever it is. I don't know, they need to have major, whatever. I didn't study agriculture, by the way. But my point is, why should you have first degree, PhD in agriculture, but you don't know how to farm? You cannot do simple poultry. You cannot do fish farming. Why? Why did you go through that education in the first place? Why do you think you need it? Why do you need to wait so much years to be able to do what? In most cases, what you struggle for was the certificate after all, because the evidence to prove that what you struggle for was the certificate, as soon as you came out, there is nothing you are capable of doing. Okay, let me say there's little to nothing. Some people will feel so offensive. I am not talking against you. I'm talking against the type of education that was given to you and you're unable to think. If you can think, you should be able to know that you need to be able to provide value. You need to be able to solve problems. That problem that education you have is structured to be able to give you. You should be able to know it. If, for example, you want to do agriculture, fish farming is what you are interested in. After you are able to read and write, if you are able to read and write, you do simple arithmetic. My argument is The next thing you should be worried about is, where is the pond? Where are the people that are rearing fish? Lecturers don't rear fish. They will tell you study pH that you are supposed to use but give them 50 fish, they will not survive. If you are not capable of establishing a knowledge, you are not supposed to teach it. You are not qualified to teach it to another person. I don't know if you get me. Maybe I should say that again. If you are not capable of implementing any knowledge you have such a way that it provides results, it provide solutions, it solve problems, you are not supposed to teach it to others. Because once you teach it to others, what you are doing is that you are wasting their resources, you are wasting their time, you are wasting their efforts. At the same time, after all these years, you still expect them to go to somewhere to go and learn it. Then why did you keep them for all those number of years? This is my argument. If you want to challenge it, be able to have value, your students, if you are a lecturer and you are listening to me, you think about how your students are supposed to be able to provide value to the society, to be able to solve problems when they come out of that education. It's not necessary and it's not good that they should now be roaming around trying to use that certificate to look for a job that does not even exist, job that millions of people that have graduated over the years are unable to create. And it's not as if we are not capable of creating these things. We have enough mineral resources. Most of those things the lecturers are teaching you, if they themselves are capable of practicing it, the life would have been entirely different, even for them and for the society and for the nation. Most of people, if you talk about these things like this, they will start pointing the president, the government, and they are not doing well. But what about you? The education you have, what have you been able to do with it? Don't you even feel cheated that you have spent 4 years of your lifetime studying a particular thing that you cannot do anything about? That should annoy your spirit. It means you are not educated. And what I tell people is that you are an educated illiterate. And that's the truth. And you have to accept it. Why would it be that you spend good 4 or 5 quality years of your life doing something you cannot implement? Now, my argument is, and it's very simple. If you think you are educated, then you should be able to do what you have learned. Yes. Like I was talking to some people today, and part of the argument a PhD have was that, look, I am educated and I'm providing value. And I asked him, sincerely, what value are you providing? And guess what he said? Maybe you have the same thing on your mind. But guess, before I will tell you, what value are you providing as an educated person? Guess, please ask yourself this question. I will definitely give you the answer, but I want to give you a few seconds. Think about it. Please, let's think about it. You are educated. You have certificate. You probably have 2 certificates, 2 degrees, or even more. What value are you capable of producing? Okay, let me tell you what the PhD student said now. He said, by God's grace, he's living well because he's impacting the knowledge to others. He's teaching this knowledge to others. And those other people he's teaching it to, they are learning it. Good. I say good response. You are impacting knowledge. Okay. And again, he also added that at least he's able to provide for his family from that, the earnings that come from that knowledge. So that's a value. Agree. The simple question I have for him that troubled his mind later on was that, assuming you are not impacting this knowledge to any other person, question number 1 is, then what can you do with it? Because always my argument is, you should be able to bring your knowledge to reality, specialized and applied. That is when I believe that you are learned. If you have all the textbooks in your head, because that's what I study chemistry. They will teach us long reaction, how all the chlorophyll, the long equations, the type of chemicals that are present in all the, even the fruit we are eating. They will bring out the equation, they will write how they are formed and all that. If I go into the Google, all those information are available. I can ask AI just within seconds, provided I can read and write. And after secondary school, that's all. I don't need, I can read and write, confident, everything I can read and write. If you must give this education, why not just teach people? Because to me, sincerely, what people gain out of this education is you can read in English, by the way, because you need to communicate with people like I'm doing now to you in English. You can write. Of course, I titled this video before I started, I can write. Then I can do simple arithmetic. If this education ever gave another thing again, please ask yourself, what is that? And do you need degree number 1, number 2, number 3? Do you need to be a prof to be able to do that? No, now you don't need to be a prof. All you need is just to be able to read and write. And if there's any other thing, maybe I should add, is that the way they will trouble your life, the way they will stress you, the way the lecturers will stress your life, then maybe they will build some level of pressure resistance, like you can go through troubles. And again, they also help you to what? They also help you to adapt to that pressure of achieving whatever you have set your mind on. Because many people that went through that degree went through it because, not necessarily because they are interested in what they are reading, but they are interested in the paper that will be issued to them after that as a degree holder. And that's what they will use around. I'm now a graduate. I was watching some videos some days back, and that person said they should not disrespect him because he's now a graduate. What kind of life is that? He is a degree holder, that there are certain level of jobs that he cannot do. Those are some of the damage this education have on your head, because you have spent quite a good time studying this thing that you are incapable of doing. If you are an electrical engineering person, please, why do you need to spend all those years sitting doing calculations? What do you want to do with those calculations? If there is anything you have to do with those calculations, why don't you go to that place and do that thing and learn it? But somebody wastes your years of, and that's the most productive part of your life. And after wasting it, you now come out and be walking around. Something is wrong. Don't you see it? If the question I asked, like, let me go back to that PhD student. Sorry, I'm trying to, all these days I'm starting up. This is day 4. And sometimes when I speak one point, I want to break it down to the end. I will forget, I will enter another one. And as much as possible, I want to train myself that I don't need any paper. Each time I want to express my feelings, I want to express myself. I don't need, I want to use my head. And do you know that this is another reason why most educated people are poor? They don't think much about what they want to do and why they want to do it. They do it because either the society conform with it or the general public are doing it, so they just need to do it. Sincerely ask yourself, why were you educated? Were you educated to just come and carry paper and be walking around? You were educated because you needed to have value in you, and that value goes beyond just speaking English, just doing simple arithmetic. It's value, productive. Like I tell people, if you have education that you cannot use, it is useless. If you have education that you cannot apply, you don't need it. No matter how beautiful it is, no matter the level of paper they are going to give you, you don't need it. And that's what I tell people that are doing lecturing. They are in the lecturing world. I asked several of them. Somebody told me some days back that perhaps some of the project, the question I asked that day, you have undergraduate project students, you have postgraduate project students, master's degree, PhD holders. The simple question I asked them that, what are you actually doing with the outcome of their findings in those? Because most of the research, I found out that they will just go and pack it and go and give the people that are selling kose akara people. So, and I was curious about what comes out of it. Even my own, when I finish, I dump it. My master's degree, I suffered though. I only used about 6 months to learn it. About 6 months to learn it. And I am very sure that by the end of my secondary school education, that business, I'm even more than capable to learn it. This is the name of my company. You know, I'm a co-founder. I'm not alone in it. And there are so many things you need to know. And the way I'm going now, some people will think that it's all about business. Business means you are solving problems. Business means you are providing value. And in exchange, people have to give you money. By the way, you complain that you don't have money. And I'm telling you now that is the type of education you have that is making you go through all this, and you don't want to agree with me. Now some parents suffered to give their children money to go to school. The money they don't even have. I watched a video today, and it was so painful that a mother was complaining that she have to be buying textbook for all her children, primary 1, primary 2, primary 3, and those textbooks, it happens that the business owners, those ones that are even saying that the educated people is business I'm after, the private schools, they are after business. Why would somebody go and bring a textbook that children have to write inside? So once that child go to primary 2, that book is useless. The younger sister cannot use it, younger brothers cannot use it. Like that, to the next class, to the next class, to the next class. I don't know if you are getting it. Some of these people have to structure these things that way because they need to make money, but they have plenty knowledge in their head that is not useful. The only way they know how to use it is to teach it to another person. Are they not cheating them? You teach me something that you yourself cannot apply. If you want to teach me how to swim, excuse me, don't teach me. Take me to the swimming pool, push me inside, hold me, let me swim. That's the essence of education. I told you that this is going to be hot today. We might spend more than 30 minutes, but I don't want to exceed 30 minutes. There is so much you need to learn. I'm not against your education, but I'm against the type of education that you have. The one that is making you unproductive, the one that is making you run from one place to the other looking for a job. You are not supposed to look for a job. That's why even the country is like this. Some of the reason why we are poor, all of us, we are suffering now. If we are providing value to the society, if we are solving our own problem, it means that revenue will be generated here. Something like what Dangote is doing. A good man. By the way, I saw one of his videos yesterday, and they said he's trying to bring together so many of the richest people in Africa. I think about 50 of them, starting from him. Number 1, number 2, about the 50 most richest people in Africa. Let them come together and think how they can provide solution to our problems. But you know what my educated brothers and sisters are doing? They want to go abroad. They want to go where problems were already solved, where the environment is soft landing. Educated person that cannot solve his own problem, you want to go. Those people that you are meeting, they don't know that it's their education, their head, that they used to solve their problem. Your own is after paper. They give you pieces of paper in school and you are happy receiving it. The earlier you learn to change that mindset, the better for you. Let me tell you, somebody said, what made you special? What makes you different? By the end of last year, we decided, by the way, that wasn't for our decision in the first place, that there is a guy from my village, right? People, and this is another irony of it, if they see you succeeding, trying to apply the small knowledge you have, the religious people will come and say, is it not God? His own time has come. This time, is it your own? It's always God time. Whether you make it or not, it's always God time. And then apart from religious people, they will say, God has blessed him. Right? So, but little did you know that most of them were actually applying the knowledge that they learned. So, like I was telling you, the guy, people from the village told him, these people, they just started making money, you know, their money, there's a question mark, how they are making money, blah, blah, blah. That's what he had. And he said, wow. If these guys could be making such kind of amount of money, the way they are accusing them, you want to go and find out. By the way, he's interested because what we do is we sell things online. We're into e-commerce. So he wants to go and find out the truth. For most of you, you just accuse rich people. Anywhere you see them, you say they are rituals, they are this, they are that, they are doing this, they are doing that. How about those that are doing it right? But you are just carrying your certificate up and down. You don't know your left from your right. And the next thing you do is to challenge the next person that is making it, that is using his head, that try to learn something else that is doing. By the way, I don't blame you because you don't know. We forgive you. Like I'm saying, the guy came and he met us. He said, this is what people are saying in the village. By the way, he's interested in this kind of business and he wants to learn. Well, because the reason why I'm giving you this analogy or this case study is to tell you, somebody asked me today, just today, and that's one of the reasons that pushed me to talk about this topic. Please, if you are enjoying this conversation, go to the comment section, just say something, because with time I would love to have people watching me live such a way that we can have it in form of interactive session. I don't know you are following. So the guy came and we say, okay, this is what the village people are saying, that we are doing money ritual, all these people, okay. Anyway, we forgive them. They are not aware. We are not aware. You are not aware too. I will tell you. So when he came, we accepted him. We said, okay, this is what we do, and we want to teach you if you are ready to learn. And he was very courageous. He was very daring, and that's what I tell young people. You need to find something doing. Don't depend on certificate. I'm telling you the reason why most educated people are poor. That's the topic of our discussion today. And if you want to argue, go and look at your environment. Most people that are very educated are very poor. Do you know why? They can analyze. See, they know where all the loopholes are. Some of them will even tell you 1 billion reasons why those things will go wrong. They will analyze. What one of our mentors said, analysis that lead to paralysis. That's what they are always doing. They will analyze. At the end of the day, they will leave it like that and go. That's what they do. That's what they are taught to do. They are never taught to solve problems. Because once they go to the board, they will tell you, this one, Aristotle, you run, come here, but they will design, Even when, do you know that when I was studying industrial chemistry, lecturers will come. It will shock you. They will draw the equipment. They are doing, when we are doing cracking, this petroleum crude, they will draw it long. They will do, this is where the cooling happen, this is where the heating happen. Oga, why? Take me to the refinery. If you want to teach me, take me to the refinery. Leave the explanation. Let me do it. Let me press it. Some of you will argue that they go for IT. That's why. Is it enough? Are you able to do anything meaningful when you came out? You can type all you want below this video, but I know that what I'm saying is what I'm practicing, and it's working for me. It's just for you to think about it. Change your story. You can change your story only if you listen. I'm not talking for the crowd. I'm not interested in many people celebrating me. I just want the few. If I have 4 people watching me live, I'm really interested. I love you. Thank you. I don't know the people. Maybe let me try to look at their name. I have Abdul Ganiu Mukhtar. Thank you so much. I have Jake Ihei. This guy is one of the reasons why I'm live here today, and this is my day 4, and I'm doing this 1,000 days. We are going to be bringing different topics here, and we do it extensively. We share some of this information from our experience and experience of others and our mentors and the books we are reading and the things that you can actually apply to your life. That's where the wealth is. That's where comfort is. That's where freedom is. If there's any knowledge you have ever learned in your head that you cannot apply, it can only make you poor. It makes you arrogant. Because when I'm telling you that uneducated, educated, illiterate, now you feel pain because you feel you have degree. You should not be told that. But do you know what can you do? What can you do with the certificate? What can you do with the knowledge? Nothing. Even when we employ some people, sorry, I'm not saying common people. When we employ some people to teach them customer service, just call customer and you talk to. They don't know how to do it. There was a graduate we employed that didn't know how to use WhatsApp. How do you want to communicate with customers? These are some of the problems. We are educated, but we are illiterate. So the guy came, like I said, from my village, and we started training him. That guy now is a millionaire. He's a millionaire. Does that not make sense to you? Does not? Today I challenge you, go and sit down. Think carefully. Analyze the degree you have and what they taught you. Think about what you can do with the knowledge. It's not too late. If you can just think carefully, even in my chemistry, if I decided that I didn't want to go outside the field of chemistry, I can choose, for example, soap making. I think there's this soap, this Dudu Osu that I like to use that soap a lot. And I think the person that produced it, they say is a chemist. He studied chemistry. That's why I said we are not ruling the education out entirely. But what I'm telling you is, if you study agriculture, have a farm, the person that is teaching you, where is his farm? Because the best person to teach you is the person that know what he's doing and can help you do it, can help you achieve it. Now, for most of our educators, don't know how to do it, but they can just explain for you to go and do it. Something you yourself cannot do, and then you just explain to me to go and do it. And now when I finally got out there, I found out that I can't do it. And you now tell me what? You've wasted my time. If you can read and write and you can hear me now, even if you have had the certificate, it's not too late. What you are supposed to do, assuming I'm interested in soap making now, decide, is soap I want to make out of this knowledge that was imparted to me. Now you are trying to specialize. To me, after you can read and write, you don't need all those long sitting down years to get a degree certificate. You don't need it. If left to me, even what I tell people is that those people that think by just impacting theory into people's head, they need to sue them to court. I'm getting hot now. I'm serious, and I'm serious about this. How can you waste my year, 5 years of my productive life, my resources, my parents? Now they are depending on me, but I can't help them. I am helpless myself because I've wasted their money, I've wasted my time. And you dare tell me that you have taught me how? What did you teach me? Something you cannot do yourself? I'm challenging you. If you have that type of certificate, go and sit down, bring out one. It's not too late, because perhaps you even have idea. But for most of us, we are so lazy and so arrogant and so dependent on that certificate, and it's draining you. Remove pride. Dr. Stephen Akintayo, one of my best mentors. By the way, you can go and read many of his work. Go and watch him, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. He said one of the most two dangerous peace you should not have is poverty and pride. You are the one that is poor. If they tell you come and learn, say no, this one will teach me. By the way, most of those people that came out from degree have plenty degrees. It's illiterate people that they consider them as illiterate. But it's those illiterate that are teaching them. Oh, can you imagine? Person that is teaching you are calling him illiterate. Who has done this to you? That education. I know the answer. That education is what has done this to you. Now keep it aside. I have certificates. I package all of them. Even I am supposed to be happy because I was a lecturer, but I keep asking myself, my conscience was not clear. How can I be teaching these theories to people's children? After the years, they are not there. Most of them cannot help themselves. The people that can help themselves, out of 100, look around you. When lecturers go on strike, what can they do with the knowledge? It's useless to them. I don't know if you get. When that guy came, we taught him, this is how these things are done. This, by the way, he's not even a graduate. He doesn't have graduate certificate. You that you are listening to me now, if you have not gone through graduate certificate, go and find something to learn. They have been deceiving you to tell you that you need that degree. And if you're already doing well, don't let anybody tell you that you are illiterate. You are the educated person. Anybody that has value or can practice the knowledge you have. My light is gone again, but thank God I have alternative. We're almost done. I'm going to round up now. Tijani Mohammed, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. It's a Malam Kabir. Well, Malam, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And I am telling you that if you are truly educated, you should be able to practice what you learn. I challenge you today. If you are interested in soap making and you are a chemist, go to where they are making soap. you can offer to work for free. For most degree certificate earners, they can't do this. I have degree, how can you employ me for free? That, in fact, and even when they employ you and they are paying you money, don't pay attention to the money. Learn. Spend years of your time. Just the way you endure, you do that certificate, you finish. Nobody even pay you anything, and you are not learning anything valuable that you can use to provide value or to solve people's problem. But now somebody employ you, you are so entitled. Instead of you to calm down, learn what today. Obviously today is hot. This is day 4, but I think it's hot, and I'm really feeling it within me. But I need to sound this way because it is very painful. When we even have ICT students that don't know nothing about computer. ICT students, do you know nothing about computer? Is not something wrong with your head? Yes. Anyway, not your head. The certificate, the degree, something is wrong with it. Don't take it personal. I don't have any problem with you. I don't know you, by the way, but I'm telling you what is working and what the problem is. I'm not against you going through the education. If you choose ICT, then get a computer. Go to ICT place. Once you can read and write, you don't need to be sitting there while somebody will be doing C++. By the way, when I was doing my master, the lecturer was running a program on the board. Oh my God. If you are getting value, type I'm getting value, I'm getting value. And hold your head like this. Any education that is in my head that is not useful, go remove it. Because that education that is there, that is serving as a waste, is like a poison. You need to uproot it and install the one that is working, so that your brain will be correct, so that you can provide value, and so that you can at all, if you don't want to make money. Because for people, when they hear me talk like, they say I'm just about money. If you don't want to make money, just solve people's problem, because money just come as a reward. Whether you ask for it or not, it will come. Right? So my argument is, if you are a lecturer, before you are qualified to be given a lecturer, that's what they call it, is the appointment. Whatever you are coming to teach should be what you are doing. I'm looking forward to the day the world will be filled with those people, or with those teachers, or with those knowledgeable people whose knowledge are already what they are doing, and they can show you results from their knowledge, and those people are the only qualified people to teach you. I don't know if you get. For some of you that are saying, what's the essence of all this conversation? That is where I am going. I wish I can create that world in my imagination, that it is only people that are doing something real with results. You can show me your achievements, what you have done over the years. Then you are qualified to teach me. And such are the teachers which you have in the schools. Not the fake ones. Not the fake ones that claim they have a bunch of knowledge in their head, but it's not useful to them. Right? Not to talk of another person. By the way, the only way they think is useful to them is teaching it to another person. You should be sued for that, for wasting people's effort, for wasting people's resources, for wasting people's time. Yes, this is my argument. Because I know that education means value. And it goes beyond just reading and writing. It goes beyond your projects. If you are a student and you are in school, they are stressing you with projects. That stress alone can make you a billionaire if you channel it to solving a particular problem. Go to people that are making soap. Let them teach you. If you need to spend 3 years, 1 year sef. By the way, any education that is valuable these days don't even take you 4 years. Most of the things they are teaching you now is not solving any problem out here. I don't know how many times I need to repeat this. But get it. Either you get it or you miss it. And if you miss it, your body will tell you. So we are going to stop here. I hope this is actually harsh. I know, and I accept it. Right? There are so many things I've said that might look, oh, why is he talking like he's, yeah, I'm pushing you. It's a challenge. Go and look at yourself. You should not be worthless. If you have degree, you should not be worthless. Don't be worthless. Hold your head. I'm not worthless. And any type of education in my head that is making me look, many of them are even confused. They're even confused. I'm sorry. It's because of the type of education you have that is making you confused. Go and look for the right one. And until then, bye. That's where we stop today. Please, before I will go, I have a new page that is titled AA Kabir. AA Kabir, because we are not supposed to continuously make this presentation here, right? We need to make it on a page. That's more of something we need to do, right? So, and I have just about 55 followers there on the page, and Facebook has said that I must have at least 100 before I can start live session there. So usually what I do is, after making this presentation here, I forward there, but it's not supposed to be like that. So please just help me. I'm going to tag it below this video. Just help me go and follow. I don't even need you to follow, but once I have that 100, so that I can shift my presentation to the other place. This is a plea, please. It's very, very important to me, because the way I'm coming and whatever I'm learning, I will teach people. I know that out of every 100, there are few persons that this might make sense to, and those are my targets. Once they get it and they begin to use it, I am fulfilled. It's part of what I have on my bigger goal. I must impact this knowledge on this media. I cannot die with what I've learned. I've seen things and I'm willing to share with you. One of it we have done today. And thank you for joining. See you some other time. Bye bye for the second time. I'm not coming back again.